know, while all of you are familiar with Godrej, there's an interesting for us, quite special that we are that I'm sharing the stage with Tarun, and largely for for an interesting reason. In 2020, when you joined Salesforce, is also when Godrej Capital started. So while the group is a household name, we are the newest business in the Godrej group. I have only two slides. First one is just a small introduction of us. We are the financial services arm of the Godrej group. We have two companies today within Godrej Capital, Godrej Housing Finance, Godrej Finance. And all the products we do basically are driven in two buckets. In our non-bank, in our NBFC, our focus area is small businesses and helping small businesses grow their businesses. And in our housing finance company, as the name suggests, entire focus is making home ownership easier. So in the end of 2020, हमने launch किया, तब से लेके अब तक over the last 4.5 सालों में, we have been able to come close to now 20,000 crores of asset book. Today, I think it's become much easier. Technology has played a great role for us in a short period of time to be able to cover the country, even though we have only 50, about close to 60 physical offices, soon to become 100 in the coming year. And we have a range of products that are spread across these two companies, but main apna focus hai small business ko aage badhao and help with home ownership in the country today. I have only one. My key slide for today is this, and the reason we are here and the reason for this partnership is that increasingly almost all of you, everyone in this room is a customer of a financial institution, bank, salary account kahin ho jata hai when you borrow. And in most cases, as a customer, as a partner, as a user, frankly, you don't care what the technology is, you don't care aapka process kya hai. The only thing that matters to you is इससे मेरा फायदा क्या होगा? How does it make my life easier? So I just thought I'll take 5 minutes why this partnership has to do with as late entrants to this industry. हमारे आने से पहले they were a good 20, 30, maybe even more providers to customers in the businesses that we are in. But we have seen that when we think about keeping the customer first and then design technology around it, even when in a crowded market, even when apne ko lagta hai ki these are many commodity businesses, there is so much work yet to be done where you can make life simpler for customer, you can innovate, and only tech allows you to innovate. We were having a conversation, and Arundhati was talking about financial inclusion is spoken a lot about today, but it's not like 25 saal pehle iska attempt, this was not being attempted. Everyone wanted to do it. But it's only after tech-powered Aadhaar, it's only after everyone has a mobile phone that it became easier, whether it's direct subsidy transfer, whether it is how we battled COVID. Also, one more thing that happened in 2020. So I'll give you a few examples of how you can use or how we have attempted to use technology and how there is so much more for us to do. I'll pick a few examples from this. One of them was what today makes it much easier for so many home buyers to buy a home, which is to be able to design how I pay you, how much I pay initially, how much I pay later, to what we call design your EMI, but it's basically being able to use technology to build flexibility. Flexibility in how you take the loan, flexibility in how you pay it back. Before this, the assumption always was that सब कुछ standard रहता है. I take it all one shot और फिर देने का एक ही schedule रहता है, and that's how it works. But if you can, and I'm happy to talk more about it, but there are so many opportunities. This is one such thing. Traditionally, what has always been the case is if you want to serve the customer fast, you compromise on credit quality. You do not look at enough information. अगर जल्दी करना है तो you have to say ये छोड़ो, ये करने की जरूरत नहीं है, इसको देखने की जरूरत नहीं है. Traditionally, the only way to do quick credit disbursals, same day credit access, was don't do some of your process. Now actually and one of the big reasons for our partnership with Salesforce is this ability that I should be able to pull information fast, ढूंढने की जरूरत नहीं पड़नी चाहिए. It should be able to come to me, I should be able to use many more data points, and I should be able to do same day credit access, same day decisioning, same day disbursing loans to business customers. Again, approvals, and just in how we can use, and we are still learning. Like many organizations, all of us are subjected to the same hype cycle. Some days we are given information, or you feel like lots is happening in the world, or hum piche reh jayenge. Other times you are wondering that it costs a lot. The investment karna, is it a good ROI? But we are starting to see in whatever pilots we do, whatever usage we do. I'll give you one or two examples. Today, the calls that we are talking about, where you have a customer call. Traditionally, you have to make note of few of those calls and see कि अच्छी तरह से बात करी कि नहीं, did we solve the customer's need or not. And वो sample पे होता है. You have 100 calls, all 100 calls you can't listen into. One simple example where with this you can summarize all 100, every single one, and with the use of tech you can check कि भाई ठीक से बात करी कि नहीं, tone ठीक था कि नहीं, did it sound like customer was satisfied or not just exactly the same things that you would do when you listened in great detail. Anybody here has taken a home loan? Anyone has bought a home using money? So very often among the challenges is that I buy it in parts. मुझे builder को भी I have to give money in parts. Very often I have to follow up at the time. First I have to follow up with my lender, then I have to follow up with the builder. Then I have to make sure कि भैया ये इसका construction stage ठीक चल रहा है, is my money going too fast? So many of these things are irritants to customers. But if you try to solve these problems as we have tried to do in how we disburse tranches, how we make money available to the developer should not have to ask and follow up. Customer को भी वो सब करने की जरूरत नहीं होनी चाहिए. Not, we are far from perfect, but we can see how partnering, how using tech better, how using the front-end partnership that we have can make it better for us to do this. And काफी सारी चीजें हैं, but the ultimate proof of this is always customer score क्या मिलता है. At the end of the day, whether there is a new customer, existing score, existing customer, what scores customers give us. So this is why we've been very excited, for this partnership. Like I said, in the last almost 30 years, I have never seen so much excitement around what new technology can do for a company. I think 20 years back, if we had a conference where we wanted to discuss a technology and financial services partner, I don't think it would be interesting enough for you to even be here. So, we're really looking forward to this. We're really excited. And all of us are learning, but I read a quote, I read a very interesting data point, which I thought was a great explanation for how tech is changing our lives and a partnership like this works. So there's this, whenever a new technology comes, again, we were having a conversation where 30 years ago, jab PSU banks, when computers came to first to into strikes, there were strikes across and there was lots of opposition. I read a very interesting line, and I hope we can also implement this in our company as a result of this, of using tech better. So when there were horses driving carts, so when cars came, there was a great, obviously the first thought was in Godo ka kya hoga? So it turns out today there are more horses than there ever were before the cars came. So far from actually horses becoming extinct, actually the number of horses have multiplied. It's just that वो literally वो घोड़ागिरी नहीं करते. And what they used to be used for, they are not anymore, and they are used for recreation purposes, or they are used for tourism, or they are used for other things, not to carry people around. So our equivalent of this is in anything that we do, including very importantly this partnership, is not that कल तक इस चीज के लिए 100 जन लगते थे, अब 10 लगेंगे. शायद वो सच है, but actually a greater opportunity is with the same 100 people we can do 3 times the work, and they can stop doing some of the really boring work, mundane work in our life. For example, अगर आप customer when you call saying loan statement चाहिए, इसका ये schedule चाहिए, वो वाली चीज ये जानना है, you really don't need a person spending time doing that. Neither are you interested as in any customer, all you're interested in is get my job done. मुझे एक सवाल था उसका WhatsApp पे जवाब दे दो. I don't need a question and answer. And at the same time, as a company, there really should not be a need to get more and more people doing that. When we move people away from doing that, we can get people, to the point we were making very often. We are so busy doing internal stuff कि customer आ भी जाता है. We were talking about a hospital patient आ जाता है तो ऊपर उठ के देखने की फुर्सत नहीं रहती है that what is this person want कि बोल क्या रहे हैं, चाहते क्या हैं. If we can use this to become much better in saying I have more time to speak to you about what we can do for you rather than for basic things. This is the start of using technology genuinely to make customers' lives better, our employees' lives better. So we are very excited. Thank you again, everyone, for coming, and thank you for this partnership. We're looking forward. Thank you.